Our main differentiating factor as a species is that we can tell stories. And the interesting thing with stories is that fundamentally they are a tool for collaboration. That's how we as humans build magical things, because if we tell the right story, then generations over generations of people can continue the same work and keep building up on that progress so that all of us can have a better life. And so when we think about that, we kind of realize that we are all made out of stories. Everything we love, everything we think we hate, our cultures, our countries, our financial systems are all just stories. And stories are told by you guys, are told by artists. So that was 2020 in Belarus. Another presidential election, only this time the same guy that's in power was in power for 26 years. Nobody believed for a second that he won. A lot more people on the streets, a lot more violent crackdown from police, and obviously being sort of in the safety of, well, being here in States, it still was very hard to just like stay impartial and just not do anything, you know, just watch from the sidelines. Promethean, right? We make artificial intelligence to help people build virtual worlds. And the whole premise internally for us is we want to help people tell their stories. We want to make it easier to make games, to make awesome art so that anybody can share what they have on their mind. And so we had this idea internally that we should be telling stories for people that can tell their own for now, until we can get the tools out that are fully ready. And so at the moment we saw that, it was a Thursday, I was like, okay, we got to do something. So I wrote this little script on Thursday. On Friday, we booked a volumetric capture studio. On Saturday, I went to a protest in support of Belarus in Los Angeles and just like talked to random strangers, asking them to be in the VR experience so that we can use their likeness and just be actors. And then on Monday, we were shooting. At the end, we basically got all of the captures from these, and we kind of made an edit of all of the takes before we convert them to 3D. And because the volume was so small, everybody had to be captured separately, and then we would do some clever trickery to kind of put them back together. And we captured audio at the same time as well. And it looked like it was working out. You know, we built the environment in like a day because, well, we make environments, like that's our thing. So that was really quick. Same with the car interior. You know, bought a car off some asset store, just quickly up some materials, did some modeling, good to go. Bought some character of some asset store, made sure that it's riggable to the VR hands, and then we're good to go. And then we started getting back the actual volumetric captures, and it looked really promising.
Ты видел ее лицо, когда она сообразила, что это не ее подарок?
Жаль, все пропустил. Ребенок, ты почему забрала подарок мальчика?
Я думала, это мой подарок.
С чего ты так взяла?
Ну, потому что все подарки для меня обычно.
Может, хватит уже покупать ей подарки?
Может.
Не хватит.
Что там такое?
Проезд заблокирован.
Что случилось?
Папа, что это за дядя?
Поехали отсюда!
Зачем они бьют машину?
Тихо!
Это бандиты?
Не знаю!
I think it's probably the shortest ever production for a virtual reality experience. Probably one of the first ever virtual reality experience that happened while the event was still happening in the real world. You know, you could experience it while someone on the other end of the planet was living it. And that was very interesting, but that still required a lot of complicated expertise. It required a decent chunk of money for the volumetric video capture. And yeah, and so our focus, right, like what I do for a living is basically trying to figure out how to make technology that will help people make these experiences easier, faster, simpler through an interface that is more human, that is more accessible. Every single person that does something terrible is convinced that in their story, they're the good guy. They're convinced that they're on the side of the right. And the best thing you can do to diffuse them, to sort of neutralize their desire to do terrible things, is make it impossible for them to perceive themselves as doing something good. And you do that with art. You do that with technology. You do that with an experience where they get to see themselves through the eye of a 5-year-old girl that gets to experience them, quote unquote, doing their work. And if we can do more of that, then we can make it that much harder for people to be assholes to each other. And that is kind of the whole point, right? If we do this interactive entertainment thing right, we're building empathy machines. Every single one of us, every single person that just sits down to play a video game is saying, I'm going to experience what it's like to be someone else right now. And if we can help them get a reflection of their reality back, or some kind of experience that could make them reconsider how they treat other people, then I think we can do some magical things. And so, yeah, if there's takeaways, it's this, that sometimes you can make art to challenge, you can make art to inform, you can make art to improve, you can make art to stand up for someone.
And action.
Мне страшно.
Ребенок, ребенок! And cut.